Running? Good. He just walked in. I hear him, I think. Made it. Just in time. Everybody ready? Good evening and welcome to the Coffeyville City Commission meeting for Tuesday, January 22nd, 2019. Tonight's invocation will be led by Margie Miller of Crossroads Community of Christ. Please stand for the invocation and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Lord, we are glad to be here to represent Coffeyville in this meeting. We pray that your Holy Spirit will be with each of us, and especially the commission as they do their work this evening. And we ask this in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Margie. Tonight's consent agenda, City Commission meeting minutes for Tuesday, January 8, 2019. 2019 appropriation ordinance number AO-19-02 in the amount of $5,030,000, $5,030,246.73. Appoint Mark Hall to a 2-year term on the Kansas Municipal Energy Agency serving to April 30th, 2021. And any questions or amendments to these first 3 items on the consent agenda?
Nope.
Seeing none, I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as read.
Second.
Williams.
Motion was made by Mayor Bauer and seconded by Commissioner Williams to approve the consent agenda as presented. Mayor Bauer.
Aye.
Commissioner Van Oster.
Aye.
Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Taylor.
Aye.
2019 appropriation ordinance number AO-19-02A, Ishams, in the amount of $50.10. Questions or amendments to this item?
No questions. I'd make a motion to approve as read.
Second.
Motion was made by Commissioner Taylor and seconded by Mayor Bauer to approve appropriation ordinance number AO-19-02A for adoption. Commissioner Van Oster.
Abstain.
Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Mayor Bauer.
Aye.
Commissioner Taylor.
Aye.
Moving into regular agenda items. Tonight we'll have a swearing in of Police Officer Emily Ralph. If you will step forward. Raise your right hand. And repeat after me. On my honor, I will never betray my badge, my integrity, my character, or the public trust. I will always have the courage to hold myself and others accountable for our actions. I will always uphold the Constitution of the United States and of the state of Kansas, my community, and the agency I serve. Congratulations. Jim, if I can have you come down and help me with this one.
Sure.
These are the service awards. At this time, we will do the Employee Service Awards. I will present the service awards along with the Vice Mayor, Commissioner Taylor. Thank you. So tonight we recognize 13 City of Coppell employees for their service awards. The city honors employees after they have been employed for 10 years, and then again every 5 years after that. These 13 individuals represent a total of 190 years of employment with the city, and we are proud of their service to our citizens. So when I call your name, you're here. Please come forward, and we will present you the award and ask you to remain up front so we can take a picture.
What is the award, Mayor?
It's a gift card,
Okay,
$10 for every year.
okay, that's nice to know.
All right. So under our 10 years, I'm going to go ahead and read everyone off so that we're aware. Charles Adamson, he's a shift operator at the Electric Generation Department. Albert Shody Foreman, he's a journeyman wastewater department. Bruce Cohen, crew foreman, Electric Distribution Department. Angela Stevens, municipal court clerk, police department. Robert D. Tracy, lieutenant, fire department. You were here, I saw you. Yep,
Thank you for your service, Bobby.
thank you.
Is that the right one?
Yeah, I put him in.
Oh,
He was here. Yeah, stay up here, please. Eric Wilson, assistant operator, Electric Generation Department. That was our 10-year. 15-year, Johnny Gray, master operator, wastewater treatment plant. 20-year, Jason Hunt, apprentice lineman, Electric Distribution Department. 25-year, Bruce Bell, foreman, Electric Distribution Department. And Shane Brown, meter serviceman, Electric Distribution Department. 30-year, Randy Bard, assistant superintendent, water wastewater department. Chad Hayden, crew foreman, water department. And lo and behold, 40 years, Chuck Shively. Thank you, sir.
It's all there, Chuck.
We'll get up here, we can take a picture.
You think you're out of the way.
Congratulations. I didn't think about giving it to her after her mom handed it back to me. Next item on the agenda is a report on 2019 summer celebration. Gail Smith will give a report on the summer celebration, along with Mike Bradley.
Mayor, commissioners, staff. A little warmer subject on a cold winter night, but we're already taking our campaign for the Coffeyville Summer Celebration. I talked to my fireworks guys over the weekend, and I've already sent him the upfront check for this year's fireworks in order to get the big discounts.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of the discounts, we just take it more fireworks.
Right.
We've already got one event planned. Talked to Luke Carr today, and he wants to put on a raffle out there. I think he's going to do it during that day, raffle tickets, and then draw 20 to go up in the VIP, I think it's a VIP room, and have a dinner, and benefits the Interstate Fair Junior Advisory Board
Okay.
Educational Fund or Scholarship Fund. Anyway, we're just here to kind of get your blessing to put this on again. We think we can make it bigger than it has been. It's grown every year.
What is there, talking to legal and city management was a little behind. Is there any process we do to do this? I mean, what is our process?
I think
We know we're gonna get
Budgeted.
blessing,
Yeah.
but is there a legal or technical process?
They'll fill out a special event application, provide their insurance, those types of things. Mhm.
Yeah, we get all the Well, we get the permits from, you know, the state, what am I trying to say, fire marshals, and then, of course, Coffeyville, the fire chief, and, yeah, we try to go through all the,
Yeah, we go through Coffeyville Resource, they come out and they check everything, all the lines, make sure no new lines have been set. There's easement on some of the lines, they're regulated, we follow all the regulations that they want us to.
DigSafe comes out and
Yeah.
marks everything, and then we get with the resources.
Chaparral comes out on their own.
Gail, you guys been doing this, Mike, you guys been doing this a long time. Have you got a how-to book put together? You know, a plan?
Well, that's,
Not
you
that
know,
we need one that I know
Yeah, and
of,
then
but,
on
but
the
it sounds
day-
like a lot of stuff, you
Yeah,
know.
then on the day of it, it just goes out the window and we get through it. So,
first year.
Sounds about right.
First year is very stressful, but you know, the last couple of years, it's gotten a little easier because we learned if we start in January, we don't have everything to do right up to the last minute.
you know,
And
like our first year, the kitty car show, we had 9 cars. Last year, we had 40. So it got really big.
Well, everybody in town, I think, knows it's been a successful deal, and we're glad you're here.
Gail, what is the date?
Well, I'd like to have it on the 13th, and that way, July the 13th, that way we don't, you know, people like the weekend 4th of July, the 4th comes on a Thursday. We try to not interfere with their vacations, you know, we try to get as many people, you know, maybe back in town, if that's acceptable to the city, so. You know, the 13th is, I've always had, when I had it on my own, I always had it the weekend after the 4th, and that way we got a larger crowd.
Do you know if will we have any competing cities doing it on the same day? You know, like you said, you like to draw as many people as possible, and I know it is quite an
think-
event.
I think Deering always likes to do it the weekend
Before.
before. South Coffeyville, they like to do it on the weekend
Right.
usually. And so we're gonna do one weekend after that.
Yeah, because I think was last year, I think ours was the same weekend or the same night as South Coffeyville.
Yeah.
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 So
Yeah,
Anyway.
you know, that's,
it's tough to work around everyone's schedule. I get
It's,
that.
you
I
know,
just,
and
you know, if we can,
even though it's, you know, the summer, or the 4th of July, time of the year, you know, we're calling it summer celebration, so, you know, really, and to go along with it, you know, we wanna really we're gonna try to do you know, a big deal about the 150th birthday this year.
yep.
How about a month later? How about August 4th?
How about in October when it's not so hot? But, I think, you know, that if we do it that following weekend, the 13th, then our car show, I believe, will get bigger. You know, there's gonna be a lot of people out of town, and maybe the other car shows during that weekend and stuff. Vendors, you know, it'll free up maybe that next weekend that they might be, you know, we've got a lot of vendors last year, and
Right.
you know, we're just trying to think that, you know, maybe if we have it a week later, we're gonna be able to draw maybe more vendors, more people, more cars.
All the hoopla's over. I think it's a great idea, Gail.
I'm-
Your choice, it's your choice, I guess, but,
Well,
you know.
I agree. I think it is a good idea.
That's the reason I come here in January, you know, and Mike and I, you know, we come to get your blessing for this. And, you know, you give us the park for a day, that the park has always been beautiful out there. You know, the city really takes care of us as far as beautifying the park, and when it's done, we try to clean it up, you know, the best we can. And I think we left it as cleaner than we got when we found it, so.
Hallelujah. Good.
My opinion is I see no reason to hold you back from whatever you're going to do. I mean, I don't want to speak for everyone else, but what you guys have put on and started out there is quite an event.
And I would like to, you know, anybody, you know, if this is being maybe televised or something, but anybody that wants to have something to do with this can contact Mike or I.
our numbers are on our Facebook page.
Yeah, we have a Facebook page,
Right.
and we even have a website.
We got a
now.
website also.
So, and then we would really entertain any suggestions, you know, if there's something, talked to Anne Marie a while ago, you know, if the city wants to maybe put a 150th, you know, commemoration of some kind, you know, into our show out there. Well, you know, anything like that's welcome. We want, you know, we'd really like to celebrate Coffeyville's birthday.
Sure, yeah, that's great. We appreciate all that you're doing.
I know you do accept corporate sponsors, I know that. So that's
Well,
something.
just, you know, it doesn't make any difference
Any
how
sponsors as far as that go, but
small, you know, how small or how big they can, you know, and even just volunteer help, you know, we've had a really good turnout of people to come out there and help us, and it seems to me like everything's gone real smooth.
you know, it's been pretty public. That's a pretty expensive. You've been public about what that thing costs to put on, and I think people need to know, so maybe they'll get a little more involved. But that thing's really turned into something. I mean, how many people did we have last time, or under the estimate?
You know, I don't know. Mike and I got a guy that approached me last year, and he said he drove around all through the town, you know, the old Walmart and
Gas
you know,
station.
around all the parking lots and stuff. And whether he was exact or even close or not, but he said he thought we might have had 10,000 people out there. But you know, that's a pretty big number.
You know,
But-
just looking, when you see all the parking lots all the way up to the stadium full, south of the rec center, north of the rec center, the old animal shelter across the street and everything. And then you see like Canoma Co-op, they have a big howdy-do over there. They, you know, they have a barbecue and they invite all their employees and customers over there for the fireworks show now. So that's all full. Then everything to 8th Street. And then you look when the fireworks are going on, the highways shut down. Then I hear Walmart east of town, the whole parking lot's full. So
Yeah.
Now concessions, is that, you guys have concessions? I mean, I've been to it, but I don't go all the way around.
yeah, I have never turned any concessionaire out. We don't charge anything. If they want to come, we let them know, hey, there's another barbecue guy here. It's up to you if you want to come. The snow cone guys or frozen ice, we invite them all day long.
Do we
because-
get sales tax from that, or? So
Yeah,
that
that-
generates money for the
Yeah,
city?
and that's one thing we tell them, that they have to deal with the city and state on their own. We don't deal with it. We're
Okay.
a nonprofit organization. I mean, all the money that is gave to us during the year, we make sure it's gone.
Every penny of it's spent.
Yeah,
Okay.
and if it's not gone the day that we start it, by the end of the day, we're giving out raffles, handing that money out to people, so.
Well, Mark, I don't know what we wanna think about. I know we probably talked enough, but if there's any way we can generate some sales tax money with it, you know, with the concession, I don't know, it's just something to think about. We've
Sounds
never
like
really
we are.
talked about. You know, it makes help it grow and all.
Sounds like
so-
we are.
We are.
Yeah, well, I know, but
Right. I
what
don't know how
else
you
is
capture
there?
it,
What
yeah.
else is there I'm talking about? But anyway,
Yeah, I agree.
We didn't, I do want to make it clear that we don't charge for vendors. Now, you know, as far as the vendors, what they bring in and what they turn in as their sales tax, that's completely up on them. It's not,
that's not your deal, but
right, it's, you know, this is a free show for a day. That's how we set it up to be, you know, and you know, the vendors or, you know, anybody that's taking in money for profit out there as far as sales tax and
Right.
all, that should be up to them.
Right.
I got it. We never had talked about it before. You've been here several times. I just thought I'd ask.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
Appreciate you
Thank you,
guys.
For
guys.
everything.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Gail. Great.
Moving into new business, resolution number R-19-03, a resolution to authorize the execution of an agreement with Healy Law Offices for legal services for the electric utility. Electric Utility Director Mike Shook will make comments.
Good evening, Mayor, Commissioners. The City of Coffeyville has entered into agreements with Southwestern Bell Corporation and Cox Communications that define the guidelines for attachment of their wireline communication equipment to the City of Coffeyville-owned utility poles. These agreements not only define these rules for their attachments, but it also includes any associated fees that we would charge for their attachments to our poles. Due to recent regulatory changes by the Federal Communications Commission, the FCC, updating of our attachment agreements is being required. As part of this review and updating process, the attachment fees, the attachment guidelines, including development of any potential new ordinances required to address these newly mandated wireless or small cellular attachment agreements and rules are needed. Staff, with the assistance of Kansas Municipal Energy Agency, has reached out to Healy Law Offices out of Arkansas for assistance in review and development of new guidelines and ordinances. Healy Law, specializing in communication attachment agreements throughout the Midwest, they've offered to assist and offered a proposal to assist the city in preparing these updated agreements, drafting ordinances, and any applicable standards, including permitting processes to address the changing federal regulations pertaining to telecommunication providers and the attachment processes. Healy Law has offered to assist the city at an initial proposed cost of $15,000. Staff has reviewed this. I believe City Attorney Paul Kreitz has reviewed this as well, including the city manager, and staff is recommending execution of an engagement letter with Healy Law for the review and updating of our pole attachment and franchise agreements. And I'd be happy to try to answer any questions that you may have.
Do we have an opportunity to get reimbursed for the 15,000?
Only through our fees that we charge for the attachment agreements.
That's, okay.
To my knowledge, we've not changed the fees in probably well over 10 years. Is my understanding.
Something maybe we should look into?
They do need to be addressed.
I'm just curious, how old is the last agreement?
I believe 15 years.
15 years.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. And from what I read, this is done in 4 stages. So you're talking about a good 10 months?
It could be, yes.
Maybe, could be longer, depending on that final stage from what I
Correct.
gather.
We have franchise agreements where they pay the city to do business within our city limits.
Right.
And then we have the pole attachment agreements for their equipment that they hang on our poles.
Okay,
So 2 different forms of revenue to the city.
right. To get into that. Okay.
One question that well, maybe multiple questions, I don't know. With this law firm being from out of our area and out of state, I'm assuming that they've helped other cities or done work for other cities within the state of Kansas?
My understanding is that they're also working with Garden City. They just recently assisted the city of Independence, Missouri in updating theirs, and the city of Independence actually saw a drastic increase in their franchise and pole attachment fees. Working with Kansas Municipal Energy Agency, they went out to various law firms to see who had the better track record in dealing with this issue.
Okay. So I assume they're probably familiar with I'm assuming this is probably all governed by statutes and stuff in Kansas, so they'd be familiar with those.
And federal regulations.
Okay.
And if you look at the Healy website, they claim to specialize in Kansas, Oklahoma, Missouri, and Arkansas laws.
Okay. And you're comfortable with
I
their
am.
qualifications and their work that they've done in other places in Kansas?
I haven't checked into that, but I am satisfied with their qualifications, and I like the way she put in her cover letter the 3 benefits to the city by doing this engagement with Healy. That is to minimize our risk, substantially increase risk of liability due to small cell attachments, and the greater ability to regulate and control the attachments in our city, and as the mayor pointed out, it will recoup the cost of our services in a relatively short period of time. So definitely time for an adjustment.
Yes.
Very well.
Good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Mike. Any other questions? If none, I'll make a motion to approve resolution number R-19-03 for adoption.
I'll second.
Motion was made by Mayor Bauer and seconded by Commissioner Williams to approve resolution number R-19-03 for adoption. Commissioner Taylor.
Aye.
Commissioner Van Oster.
Aye.
Mayor Bauer.
Aye.
Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
City Manager's report. City Manager Mark Hall will make comments.
Mayor, Commissioners, again, would just like to thank staff. Sorry about that. Mayor, Commissioners, would just like to thank staff for all that they do, working very hard to improve Coffeyville. And I also met with several groups today, but one very special group that's in our audience. And I'll, if you don't mind, would like Peggy to just stand up and with the group and introduce some visitors that we have to our town. Great group of people.
I think she wanted you to introduce Bill Wade, and Bill
Would
Pratt,
that be
maybe.
all right?
Okay, so this is Crystal Sayre, this is Bill Wade, and Bill Pratt. And there are we are four people of a group of about 15 that met today to look at reawakening Coffeyville and all of the kinds of things that are gonna really, really get Coffeyville going, so.
Fantastic.
Thank you guys.
Thank you
for
all
coming.
very much.
But it's been an eventful day, and we'll have another eventful week. I'll answer any questions the commission might have.
I'm just gonna back up a little bit, and I'll just take a second. Mr. Wade, where do you live? I forgot. I know Bill Pratt is from New York, I know. Used to live here. Back to kind of help with maybe some things in Coffeyville and whatnot. And, Bill, where are you living?
Well, I was born and raised in Coffeyville,
Right.
and after 50 years, graduated in 1968, and I live on Monkey Island now.
Okay.
I'm glad to be back where my roots are.
Fantastic.
Bernard Wade was your father, and your mother was, what was her name? I forgot.
Well, Effie Joe Wade
Effie
and
Joe.
Bernard Wade were my parents, and great legacy. Effie Joe Jensen. Bill, my name is William Ray, named after Phil and Ray Jensen, who had a successful pump jack business in this town. Were definitely city fathers. And my mom, when Ray and Bill Jensen bought Funk Aircraft Company and moved it to Coffeyville, that's when my father got involved and came to Coffeyville. And he met Effie Joe Jensen, and the rest is history. So that little yellow Funk airplane you see up at the Heritage Museum is the reason why I exist.
That's good.
Great history here in Coffeyville.
That's a great story.
Good story.
Very excited about what we can do to help this town.
Well, we're glad you guys are coming back, and Crystal is from Bartlesville. Some of you know Crystal, my girlfriend. She's working on the theater board for Taos Midland Theater. So anyway, enough said on that. Thank you. Go ahead.
Nicely said, Mr. Taylor.
Thank you.
At this time, we'll take comments from the public. The public is free to comment on items not listed on the agenda. Please address comments to the commission as a body and be mindful of others who may also wish to speak by limiting your comments to 3 minutes. Step right up.
I'm Margie Miller at 1807 Morgan Street in Coffeyville. I was talking to Cox Communications today, and I was informed that they are preparing to go wireless. Is the commission aware of that? That's going to be a change. They're going to get out of the cable business and be wireless.
I didn't know it, Margie. I just come clean. I didn't know it, so.
Okay, well, I was
I've not heard
curious
that.
if you had any of the details about it, because I can't imagine how it could go wireless unless they stream it, and they told me they were not going to stream this. So I just thought maybe you guys might know more about it.
Well, maybe we can ask our IT manager, Chris Felix,
that
the
would be
next
good.
time. Maybe for the next meeting, he can give us a quick little rundown on. I'm
Okay.
sure if that's happening, then he is well aware of
He
it.
said that the man I talked to said they were doing it in other communities as kind of an experiment, and it was going very well.
Good.
So I just wondered if you all knew anything about it, because I was curious.
I do not.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Could we get your phone number? Would that be okay? You've got?
Cindy has it,
Okay.
620-515-4070.
We'll give you a whistle. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Margie. Anyone else? Mr. Taylor?
My name is Jim C. Taylor Sr. I live at 704 Spruce in Coffeyville. I have something I want to present to the commission. I can't possibly cover it properly in 3 minutes. So I'm going to start. I have 2 items I want to talk about.
Okay.
One is our sign ordinance, and the other is our stormwater problem. I don't know if you have a stormwater problem or not, but I do. I would like to present, I followed the rules that I think we have, that I make a presentation of what I might have in writing. That way it's available to the press, to the commissioners, and anyone else that's interested.
Okay.
I have that on these 2 items, and if the right thing to do, I'll go ahead and present it now to Cindy, and she can do whatever needs to be done with it.
That sounds fine.
If that's with your approval, Mr. Mayor.
Yes, that is fine.
I want you to understand I am getting old and clumsy, but I'll try to be as effective as I can.
You're fine.
Cindy, there's 15 copies of this, and they can go wherever.
Okay.
And there are 15 copies of this, and they can go wherever.
Thank you.
I will have all of these also posted to the agencies that I think are affected in this and online, so we can pursue it, because this is of great importance, I feel like, to myself and our community.
Okay.
If I may, I'm going to read to you the first item that I'm concerned with, and that's our sign ordinance.
Okay.
And you commissioners, I'm sure, are aware that I sent to you an affidavit 2 or 3 weeks ago on the sign ordinance. I'd like to read that, if I may.
Can we make it brief? Because we are going to limit to 3 minutes, and
Are you?
you're down to a
Well,
minute. So we'll give.
Let's-
I'll be a little lenient, but
No,
we're going to keep
I'm not
it.
asking, you don't have a thing I want. You stop me when it's time to stop.
Yes, sir.
That's part of the issue, and I'll be more than happy to address it later. So
Thank
you
you.
stop me. Mayor Bauer, I am asking you and the commission to submit to the city clerk, Cindy Price, an affidavit I presented on November the 16th, 2018, to all commissioners as recorded in today's meeting, of which I'm including a copy. I'm asking for a citation be issued if in fact an ordinance does exist and my truck is in violation of such an ordinance. I'm also asking to whom do I display my truck to determine if I am a lawbreaker, and a ticket can be provided. Enforcement of the ordinance seems to be message, not sign. Only one citation during hundreds of exposures I can document. That's my first item. I'm out of time.
So Dad, you're saying you want to get a citation, is that what you're saying? I mean,
If
I
I'm
could-
violating the law, I demand that we give citation to people that violate the law.
Okay, just. wanted to
Make your
check.
second point brief. I'll
Pardon
give you
me?
through your second point. Make it brief, please.
Mr. Mayor, I can't do that. There's not much, I'd rather have the integrity
Yes, sir.
to that. So I'll go ahead and get all this posted. I'm
Okay.
sure we'll address it later. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to address the commission? Step right up.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners,
Good evening.
City Manager, City Clerk, and City Attorney. It's a pleasure to be here, and I have just a couple of things that have come up a couple of issues ago in one of the prior editions of the Coffeyville Journal.
Will you state your name?
Oh, excuse me. Kim Avery. I'm with the Coffeyville Journal.
Yes, there you go.
A couple of issues ago, one of the articles that was written, that it was my byline, it was about the Planning Commission. And it has come to my attention that there's concern amongst the, there's a couple in the group that have expressed, well, you know, we don't really do what it's on the website, what our purpose and our mission says that we are to do. And I don't know if that's true. So, but that's come to my attention, and I wanted to bring it to your attention. And if there is a disconnect, how do we make sure that the planning commissioners are actively involved in the city comprehensive plan, is what I understand that they're to be working on, being involved in making sure the city is developing and so forth.
Right.
So there's that. And the other thing is that there was a Martin Luther King celebration this last Saturday, and Commissioner Taylor, Vice Mayor Taylor, and pardon me for not putting that in the cut line.
Right.
We were with the two girls with the sound wave.
I saw the paper tonight. That was cool.
You're promoting Smith going to New York to Carnegie.
Abby's going by herself, and you see it in the paper. That was Coffeyville Journal. But you know, Abby came into the office a while back and trying to get some money. I met her, you know, raise funds. And she's going, I think it's the 7th she's leaving. But anyway, go ahead.
Yep, early February.
Thank you.
Sure. So something that came up that was very interesting, that got the crowd very excited. The editor of the Montgomery County Chronicle, Andy Taylor, told the story of a lady in our history of Coffeyville called Celia Thurman Watts, and she had a lot to do with the fight for integration of the schools. And so I won't read all of this. Well, I wouldn't read all of it anyway, but after telling the story of her and then her daughter, and her daughter finally, the next generation, was able to get enrolled. And he has requested, and the group that hosted the event, the Institution for Communal Harmony, Pinch, they have taken this under their wing as far as, what to say, kind of leading the cause, or saying, yes, we approve, we want to see that too. And that is for the auditorium at Roosevelt, the Roosevelt Gymnasium or Auditorium, to be renamed because of the history that is so important that has not been recognized really yet, with the two ladies that were in Coffeyville. So, and one, the grandmother, the mother of Celia herself, suffered so much and never got her education, but she persisted and fought for so long. But it was either a daughter or granddaughter, finally did get in. And so he's saying, hey, let's name the auditorium after her. Something else came up, and it didn't get in here, and that was, I think it's important for you to at least know, because it's out there and it's going to be on a website and his whole deal. He said that he would challenge the city and the residents not to pass a bond until there's a memorial erected in front of Roosevelt Middle School for Celia Thurman Watts. So, FYI.
Very good. Thank you for the information.
Yes, my pleasure.
That's great.
And by the way, Funk Ford and Funk Aircraft, there was an article in the last issue called Funky History. Yes, I'm sorry I didn't bring that paper in, but when we go out, I think I might have a copy of it. But if you drop by the Coffeyville Journal, I can make sure you get a copy, or if you email, I can also email a PDF of that. Oh, okay.
All right. Perfect. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
So Kim's the new editor.
Yes.
Avery's the new editor at the Journal. And I do have something I want to add about that event when it comes time to talk here.
Sure. Anyone else? Okay, at this time, we'll take comments from the commissioners and staff.
Okay.
There's your segue.
Well, I'm just going to say, I listened to Andy. Andy did a great job, great speaker. I never heard Andy speak. He's not here tonight, but I'll just say it. We went to the church over here. I don't remember the name.
Sardis?
Sardis. and they had a great, I don't know, it was 2 or 3 hours, lunch and everything, and Andy did a great job. I asked Andy if he was gonna get that story public, then someone said that it has been somewhat public, but it was quite a story. He did a lot of research, and I asked him if he was gonna work on that. I didn't quite understand what Kim was talking about. I thought he said something about a plaque somewhere substantial, not back in the corner, but a nice plaque, a remembrance issue. But anyway, I just wanted to mention that. But Andy did a great job. That was an interesting service, and I learned a lot about Pinch. It was very interesting, and I'd been to one other event, and I learned quite a bit at this one, and it was an interesting day. I enjoyed it. Okay,
Good.
I'll just say that. That's all I've got.
Very good. Anyone else? Commissioner Williams, anything? All right. All right, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion was made by Mayor Bauer and seconded by Commissioner Williams to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Were any of you guys gonna go to any of these?